I'm trying to make objects that go out into the public, or sculpture that is interactive. And what it's all about is just trying to incite a conversation with strangers about topics that are either controversial or political, or where there is obvious disagreement. Microphones that allow the person who's sitting in the chair, which is me, to hear people talking from 100 yards away, from 360 degrees. So there I am sitting in it. And you can see the microphones around the umbrella. And then also I had a video camera with a monitor mounted on the inside so that I was recording everything that went on around me. I had an alarm system so that I could change the advisory system. And then I went to Washington, D.C. and rolled around with a nurse in a Secret Service detail and surveilled the government and surveilled the people who were in Washington. And a friend of mine who I work with warned me. She said, 6 months before I did this, she said, you need to get permits from all the police organizations in D.C. because you're not going to get very far. I have a sister who works for the government, and I mentioned this to her, and she said, you won't get 10 feet from your car with this thing. So it took 6 months for me to get permits from the Washington, D.C. police, the Park Police, the Washington Capitol Police, and the Secret Service to do this piece for one day. And even though we had all these permits, we were stopped about every 100 yards by the different police who checked our papers. And they clearly would have liked nothing better than to roll us away and out of the city, but they couldn't stop us. We just had to keep pulling out our paperwork. And along the way, people interacted with the nurse and the Secret Service. I didn't say anything. It was very interesting being inside this sphere. Gave me the sense that I wasn't really present. And so I had a very dislocated experience of the whole event, and I'm glad because I was really nervous at times. People spit at us, and I heard people talk about how the flags had to have been cut or torn and resewn, and they didn't like that. It was very upsetting. Probably the weirdest thing was that people thought it was real. People thought it was a real Homeland Security